Ever heard of Docker? I mean, you probably have. Our source material today calls it magic for developers.
Right.
And honestly, when you dig into it, it really does feel a bit like that.
It does, yeah.
Think about like shipping containers, right? How they standardized global trade.
That's the classic analogy.
Exactly. So imagine that, but for software, for apps, packaged up the same way, totally self-contained, super portable, and really fast. So our deep dive today, it's all about unpacking this portable powerhouse. What's really going on there?
Yeah, and our mission here, I think, is to get under the hood, to see how Docker really fundamentally shifted how we develop and deploy applications.
Okay.
You mentioned lightweight, isolated, fast, and that's true. But the how is key. Unlike old school virtual machines,
Right.
VMs.
Right, which were heavy, so heavy.
Exactly. They duplicate a whole operating system for every single app.
Yeah.
Docker containers, they actually share the host machine's OS kernel.
Okay. That's the big difference then.
That's the core difference. It makes them incredibly light on resources. They spin up in like milliseconds, not minutes.
Wow.
And you can run way more isolated apps on the same hardware.
Yeah.
Which, cuts down infrastructure costs, speeds up development.
So that efficiency, that's the real magic behind the isolation.
That's it. Efficient isolation. Not just putting things in boxes, but doing it cleverly.
That VM distinction is super important, yeah. Really shows the leap Docker made. Okay, so let's get into the problem it solves, the big one. Anyone who's worked in software, they've felt this pain. That classic line,
Oh, yeah.
it works on my machine.
The dreaded words.
Right.
Yeah.
That moment, your perfect code just breaks on someone else's laptop or on the server. It's maddening. So how does Docker fix that specific headache?
Well, Docker really makes good on that promise that Holy Grail developers have chased. Build once, run anywhere.
Okay.
It basically bundles everything your application needs, the code, the libraries, the system tools, runtime, you name it, into one neat package, the container.
Right, the self-contained unit we talked about.
Exactly. And because everything it needs is inside that container,
Yeah.
it runs exactly the same no matter where you put it.
Right.
Your laptop, a test server, production.
So it takes the environment with it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That isolation from the host environment just eliminates those works on my machine variables. Because the environment is the container.
Right.
And that's standardized and portable.
Okay. So no more blaming Steve's weird Python version in accounting.
Exactly. It definitely boosts productivity. A lot.
Seems like a huge win. But
Yeah.
does it introduce its own complications? Like, is there a steep learning curve to get started with this power? Or is it actually quite accessible?
That's a fair question. Like any powerful tool, yeah, there's depth to it.
Fair.
But one of Docker's real strengths is how approachable it is initially.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For someone just starting out, you're mainly looking at 3 core commands to get going.
Just 3? Okay.
You've got Docker build. That's what creates your application's image. Then Docker run, which, well, runs it. It starts the container. And Docker apps, which just shows you what containers are currently running. It's pretty straightforward to see results fast.
Okay, hold on. Let's use the analogy again. The shipping container is the box. Is the image, then, like the blueprint for the box, the manifest saying what's inside and how it's packed?
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
And the container is the actual running instance, like the physical box loaded and doing its thing.
Yeah.
You use the blueprint build to create the actual thing, right?
Exactly right. The image is that static blueprint. It's read-only.
Yeah.
A snapshot of everything your app needs.
Got it.
When you do Docker run, you're bringing that blueprint to life, creating a live, runnable instance that's the container.
Okay.
And you can start up loads of containers from the very same image, just like making many physical boxes from one design spec.
And Docker apps is just checking which boxes are currently active on the ship, so to speak.
Perfect analogy. That's exactly it. It lets you see those active containers.
That really clears things up. So, okay, Docker is obviously crucial for big modern systems, powering cloud stuff. But beyond fixing my personal coding frustrations, where does it really shine in the wild? Where's its versatility most impactful?
Yeah. This is where it scales up from just one machine. It's genuinely transformative for things like microservices architectures.
Right, I hear that connection a lot.
And for CI/CD pipelines, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and of course, scaling apps up and down in the cloud.
Okay, let's break those down. Microservices first. Why is Docker so good there?
Isolation, pure and simple. With microservices, you break a big application into smaller independent services, right?
Yeah.
Like authentication, payments, user profiles. Docker lets each tiny service run in its own container, can have its own language, its own libraries, whatever it needs, without bumping into the others.
Ah, so different teams can work on their piece without messing each other up.
Exactly. They can develop and deploy independently. Speeds everything up enormously.
Okay, makes sense. And CI/CD.
Consistency. That's the key word there. Docker guarantees the environment you build and test your code in is identical to the one you deploy it to in production.
Ah, so it kills those, but it worked in staging moments.
Precisely. Makes deployments way more reliable, much easier to automate, fewer nasty surprises.
Definitely valuable. And cloud scaling.
Portability is the magic word there. Because these containers are self-contained, you can just move them effortlessly between different cloud providers, from your laptop to a huge server farm, whatever.
Right.
So scaling up when traffic spikes or scaling down to save costs becomes incredibly agile. You're just moving these standard units around.
Wow. So it's not just about the individual dev's machine anymore. It's streamlining the whole software factory almost.
Yeah.
For huge projects.
It really is. That's a massive shift. One of the sources we look at mentioned some big tech companies.
Yeah.
They apparently cut their deployment times down from hours to just minutes after they went all in on Docker.
Hours to minutes. That says it all.
It really shows how powerful that simple container idea actually is in practice.
Okay, so let's try and distill this deep dive for you, the listener. Docker is, well, it's a seriously powerful fix for making app deployment portable, consistent, efficient. It nails that works on my machine problem we all hate.
Definitely.
And it's become absolutely fundamental to modern software development, things like microservices, smooth CI/CD, scaling in the cloud. It's really changed the game.
It has. And what's really fascinating, I think, is how this relatively simple idea, containerization, unlocks so much potential for innovation, for collaboration across all sorts of different computers and environments.
Right.
It makes you pause and think, what does this build once, run anywhere capability really mean for the future? For building anything, anywhere, for anyone.
That's a great question to leave folks with. And as you ponder that, think about it in your own world. What could that level of consistency, that portability mean for your projects? Whether it's just tinkering on your own or building something huge, how could standardizing things like this change how you approach your next idea?